Hello everyone. Hope you're doing great. This is Motorsport Progression, and I'm back again with another video. So I just want to talk about the Moto GP, the Argentine Grand Prix, the sprint race that happened last Saturday. So now let's start off. The sprint race is 12 laps, and yeah, it's 12 laps out, and then there was a good start for Mark here. So basically, Mark put it on pole position again, just like he did in Thailand. His brother was second, and then also Pecco Bagnaia was in third. That was for the sprint race. So so you had Mark Marquez. He had a good start. Yeah. So in the first three corners, he took like a half a second lead in the first three corners over Alex, and then people were wondering, did Alex make a mistake? But it's just Mark had a very quick start. You know what I'm saying? And there was also a crash on lap one from Brad Binder, which was very unlucky for him. So now Fabio Quartararo, he passed Francesco Bagnaia for third position. You know, surprisingly, because the Yamaha has been struggling for the last few years, and Bagnaia then regained the place like a few corners later straight away, and then Pedro Acosta then passed Fabio Quartararo for fourth position, and there was a yellow flag in sector three because of the crash by Brad Binder on lap one. So it took about a lap to clear it, and then with the good stuff for Fabio Quartararo and Yamaha, he lost a few. He lost a couple of places because he lost a place to Pedro Acosta for fourth, and he also lost a place to Johan Zarco for fifth position. And then moving on, you had Alex Marquez closing up to Mark Marquez, and Mark Marquez's strength was in sector three, so Alex would have to find something extraordinary to beat him in the sprint race. And obviously they battled in a sprint race in Thailand and the race in Thailand as well. And then they battled in this sprint race as well. So it's all been the Marcus brothers. And then on lap 4 out of 12, the fastest lap was put a marker down, was put down by Mark Marquez. He put the fastest lap down. So, he was controlling the pace of the race, in the lead. And there was an incident between Franco Morbidelli and Brad Binder, which was under investigation from the stewards. You understand? So, Johan Zarco in fifth was being held up by Pedro Acosta and Francesco Bagnaia. So, Pedro Acosta was in fourth position and Francesco Bagnaia was in third position. So the stewards come back with a decision that there's no further action for the incident between Franco Morbidelli and Brad Binder. They took it like a racing incident, which was quite reasonable. And on lap five, yeah, um, what's his name? Aldeguer, yeah, and Miguel Oliveira had a crash, and that was under investigation as well. And then on between lap 5 and 6, yeah, Alex was still pressuring Mark at the front of the race, trying to close up and trying to do the overtake. And then on lap 7, you had Marco Bezzecchi then passed Pedro Acosta, and also Franco Morbidelli passed Pedro Acosta. So Pedro Acosta, him running in fourth position, he dropped a few places. He ended up dropping down to eighth place by lap 7. And with 4 laps to go, there was 4 tenths in between the top two. So Mark Marquez was 4 tenths ahead of Alex Marquez. Remember, Marquez on the factory Ducati bike, and Alex Marquez is on the satellite Ducati bike for Grassini Racing. So, I mean, big shout outs to Alex Marquez, for keeping Mark Marquez honest during the first two race weekends of MotoGP. So I just want to say to everyone that's watching, thank you for your support. Don't forget to always support the channel. Your love is appreciated. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. So now let's move on. With 3 laps to go, the gap between the top two was 0.7 seconds, with Mark leading Alex. And then the tire choices for the top three. So it was Mark Marquez, Alex Marquez, and then Francesco Bagnaia. That's the same top three that finished in the Thailand Grand Prix, the sprint race and the race, and then this sprint race in Argentina as well. They were running in the top three, unsurprisingly. So Mark had a medium front and soft rear. Alex had a medium front and soft rear, and Bagnaia had a medium front and soft rear. So with 3 laps to go, Joan Mir passed Pedro Acosta, and Pedro repassed, and then he lost the place straight away. And and then on the last lap, yeah, lap 12 of 12, you had Mark Marquez 0.840 seconds ahead of Alex, and Alex was 2.494 seconds ahead of Francesco Bagnaia. But Mark ended up stretching it up to a second in the last few corners. So Mark did well there. He crossed the line and won the sprint race. So him winning the sprint race, he extended his championship lead to 11 points over Alex Marquez. And yeah, so Mark did well in the sprint race for the Argentine Grand Prix, to be honest. So let me just give you the results. What happened in the sprint race for the Argentine Grand Prix 2025? It was Mark Marquez in first with a time of 19 minutes 37.331 seconds. Then you had in second position you had Alex Marquez. He was like 9 tenths behind. In third position you had Francesco Bagnaia. In fourth position you had Johan Zarco. In fifth position you had Fabio Di Gianantonio. In sixth position you had Marco Bezzecchi. In seventh position you had Franco Morbidelli. In eighth position you had Joan Mir. In ninth position you had Pedro Acosta. And in 10th position you had Fabio Quartararo. I mean, that's an okay result for Fabio Quartararo. You understand? So yeah, so that was the top 10 for the sprint race. What happened in the Argentine Grand Prix? So yeah, I hope you're enjoying the content. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Don't always forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Your support is appreciated. Hit the notification bell as well to get notified for any new videos coming out. And also, you can click on another video to check out our content on the channel, and you can also come back on the channel regularly to check out new content. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here, and yeah, that was the results for the sprint race. Mark is reigning imperious again, and at the moment no one can really touch him. It's only Alex Marquez keeping him honest. Francesco Bagnaia has to step up, but I heard he's having some setup problems. But Mark is a serial winner. When you give a serial winner like a sniff of victory, it's very difficult to claw him back in. So I would say the MotoGP grid, they just have to watch Mark race. So Mark is on top right now, and let's see how it goes for the next Grand Prix. So yeah, on to the next one.